for you. Welcome to Studio Tenn Talks.
Now, you know, my producer always tries to get me to be quiet. Boy, he really had to do it that way, didn't he? And then he let me speak. Do I need to do that again? I'm good. Okay, so anyway, like I said, it's a special night tonight. And it's a special night not only because we're in a theater and we've been in this theater, but tonight is the last night that we are doing it from the Franklin Theater. And it's been amazing. We have been blessed to be here. It is an incredible team here, and I want to thank the staff here at the Franklin Theater, first of all. Thank you for being so gracious, so kind, and so talented with everything you do. I want to thank our staff at Studio Tenn. I'm going to get to them later and cry at the end of the show, but they have been amazing too. Give them a hand. They've been incredible. So, without further ado, I want to bring on my partner in crime. He is my Butch, or I'm his Butch to his Sundance. I'm the Rocky to his Bullwinkle, my Patrick to his Patrick. Please welcome our incomparable musical director, Mr. Patrick Thomas.
Hey, sir.
How are you, pal?
I'm wonderful. We're very fortunate in that we have our guest in house tonight, but that puts me back up here in the music room in the attic. So I'm sad to be not on the same stage as you, but I'm glad I can still hear the audience. You are
great, and you're always amazing. You always have something special for us entertainment wise. What do you have for us tonight?
So as kind of a tribute to Mandy, to our guest, I knew we could play really any kind of classic country. She's done so much at the Ryman, and but I wanted to do a Willie Nelson song, and not that Willie Nelson song that Patsy Cline sang, but another one of my favorites that I've got to perform kind of all over the country. And this is always on my mind. Hope you enjoy it. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. But you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. I'll keep you satisfied. 'Cause you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
Yeah.
A little tidbit. Thank you. Thank you.
Patrick, you are always such a joy to listen to. Thank you
Very
so
kind of
much for that. We are going to see you a little bit later for a little Remember Lyrics, aren't we?
That's right. I'm going to enjoy watching the show up here and keep my eye on the Preds game too. Got to.
All right, pal.
And
Thanks,
I'll see you
Patrick.
very soon.
We'll see you in a bit. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Bye.
So our guest tonight is a renowned vocalist and performer. Her claim to fame was her debut in Always Patsy Cline at the age of 18 years old. She's a frequent Grand Ole Opry performer as well as a soundtrack artist, appearing on television soundtracks such as The Flash and SpongeBob. I got to ask about that. I want to play Patrick. She appeared on The Tonight Show, PBS's Bluegrass Underground, and The Late Show. Released several of her own albums, with the most recent being a Nashville Songbook, Every Star Above, and The Lady in Satin. Please welcome an incredible singer, and I can't wait to talk to her, Miss Mandy Barnett. Welcome to the show, Mandy.
Thank you.
Come on. Do you see? You look how pretty you look with that blue background.
Thank you.
So
Am I muted too?
Center yourself a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
No, the other way. There you go.
There we go.
No, even more. You can
go back
even
the
more.
other way. There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. So first of all, I have to tell you, you are the first person whose press agent reached out to Studio Tenn to get you on the show. I was knocked over. I want to just tell you, you have an extraordinary press agent.
Well, thank you.
The fact that they got to us and they got to me and because I mean, I now know who you, but I hadn't followed your career. I mean, it's a stunning career, but I just thought, what an incredible thing that we have a press agent that's really fighting for our clients. So welcome as a result of that. That's great.
I'm glad we finally met.
Yes, I am too. So tell me, well, first of all, how have you been faring this last year and a half during this little pandemic we've been going through?
Well, I mean, like a lot of people, it's been difficult, but music has been great. I've been able to release a couple of records, even though I haven't been able to tour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very fortunate for that. But it's been tough.
Yeah.
A lot of isolation, like most people. It feels great to be out and about and to see smiling faces and play in front of an audience. And so.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Crossville, Tennessee.
Wow. So, and have you ever lived anywhere else but Tennessee?
Nope. As soon as I graduated from high school, I was 17 years old. And at the time, I mean, it's a complicated story, so I'm not going to get into it completely, but I did have a record deal throughout my adolescence and teenage years. And so I moved to Nashville. I was on Capitol Records. And of course, within maybe 6 months of getting here, I got dropped. So welcome to Nashville.
Wait, you got dropped by Capitol Records as soon as you had moved to Nashville?
Pretty soon after. Yeah, it was pretty brutal because I came here because I thought I had a deal but that's the way it goes. You got to roll with the punches if you're going to be in the music business. So that was a good lesson. But shortly after that, I auditioned for a brand new musical that was going to be held at the newly refurbished Ryman Auditorium. So it all worked out all right.
I read somewhere that you started singing at 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's true?
Yeah. Like a lot of people, I started singing in church. Church was a natural venue. My family, they supported me. It was an Easter Sunday. My aunt was the Sunday school teacher, which is kind of laughable, really. But at that time, she was the Sunday school teacher. And so all the little kids were supposed to sing this song, the real popular gospel song written by Bill and Gloria Gaither called Because He Lives. And so she pretty much blackmailed me into singing the verse. She's like, you have to do it. All of the children are depending on you. And if you don't do it, I'm going to give you a whipping. So,
Wait. I'm going to give you a whipping.
I'm going to give you a whipping. So
I've got to learn.
so she scared me into doing it.
I've got to learn those expressions. I've got to learn those expressions. I haven't learned that one yet, but I need to tell my 25-year-old, I got to give you a whipping.
Well, it worked.
Wow.
So, so she was serious. But anyway, so that was the first time I sang in public, and I was really shy and very nervous and scared, but everyone was so supportive that I started singing about every Sunday, and then got into doing all the local doings like the fairs and political rallies. Any politician that was coming to town and needed a little girl to sing the national anthem or God Bless America, they would call me Little Kate Smith, and that's how I got started.
Did you ever take like sort of formal singing lessons or anything, or was it just all God-given?
No, I never did. Now, after I started doing Always Patsy Cline, I was singing 27 songs a night, so that was a little rough. So I started going to Renee Grant Williams, who was very, very helpful in helping me to maintain the shows and being able to sing that many songs, because I was just singing too hard, and I didn't know the proper technique. So she taught me a few tricks that would help me out. But of course, singing 27 songs a night is pretty rough.
And 8 shows a week, right?
No, it wasn't 8 shows a week. Sometimes it was 4, sometimes it was 5. But Patsy Cline didn't sing any easy songs. Every song had a big ending, and it was just a lot.
No, that's hard. I've said this more than 100 times, which is that when you're doing a musical, you're an Olympic athlete in training.
Yeah.
You are always, you have to be. And were you having to do the whole thing of sort of being no talking during the day and trying to conserve and a lot of tea and
right,
that kind of thing?
Well, I didn't do that. I was 18 years old. I was going out to the bars and staying out all night and sleeping until 4, and then getting up and doing the show. When you're 18 years old, you can get away with that.
So then you would say then your first sort of claim to fame was being the star of Always Patsy Cline,
Yes.
Right? And that was at the Ryman, right?
It was at the Ryman Auditorium. It had been closed for, I guess, around 25 years.
Wow.
And I think they closed down like around 1974 and moved out to the Opry House. So it had been, I think they might have done some tours and things like that, but it was pretty run down.
I think we have some pictures of you as Patsy Cline. Let's see those. Do we have them? There we are. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
That was a great wig.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh gosh, that's awesome. Now, were you before you took the part, were you very familiar with her music and with her herself?
Loved her. The first time I ever heard her sing, it just blew me away. My mom had been to what do they call it, a blue light special at Kmart, and bought Patsy Cline's Greatest Hits cassette. And so I learned every song. And, when I would sing out in the community, I would sing around Knoxville and Pigeon Forge, worked at Dollywood. I would always sing Patsy Cline songs. My mother always exposed me to great female singers. And so she was just someone that I absolutely loved. I loved everything about her voice, but I also loved the production, the music, all the songs.
And the nice thing, it's I mean, I've never seen that show. But I love the music too. But our company did it. Studio Tenn did Always Patsy Cline some years back. But it was not, when I think of shows of sort of musicals that were fused with country music, that's a great example of one.
Yeah, one of the few.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, what was the thing that you loved most about doing the role?
Well, it was a wonderful thing to be able to portray someone that I looked up to so much. I really, really just loved her voice, and it was a great honor to portray her in a place where she had performed herself. There's so much history at the Ryman Auditorium. And also, when I moved to Nashville, it was around 1993, many of her contemporaries and just her peers, her musicians, producers, they were still alive at that time. And I got to meet them and get to know them and work with them. And so it was just a magical time.
What's your favorite Patsy Cline song?
I have several. But I do love Faded Love. That's probably my all-time favorite.
Can you do just for us, just a tiny bit? Can you just do a little Patsy Cline?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, let me think. Boy, I should have picked an easier one, but there aren't any. Let's see. I miss you, darling, more and more every day, as heaven would miss the stars above. With every heartbeat, I'll still think of you and remember our faded love.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Look what Floyd, look at all these comments here. Susan, so good, so good. They were saying you're the best country vocalist. I mean, you're amazing. Amazing.
Well, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I appreciate that.
One of the wonderful things about this show is I feel like Patrick, gets to discover talent that you go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that person was that talented. Oh, I just met an incredible, you're amazingly talented. What a voice you have. Holy smokes.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate you having me on. It's a great honor to meet you too.
It's great to have you here. I'm going to show for our audience, and we have a little video of you as Miss Patsy Cline. Take a look at this.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here is the new Miss Patsy Cline, the new Miss Patsy Cline, Mandy Barnett. Let's make her welcome here tonight.
Thank you for that warm welcome, Dad. I said, blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue. A blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue.
Wow. Okay, so you have an incredible head of hair. Was that your hair or was that a wig?
Oh, Lord, no. That was like maybe a $50 fright wig. I had like 4 times the hair Patsy Cline ever had. Yeah, that first run, we didn't have the best costumes or wigs, but yeah, they tortured me over the wigs. I was so glad when I finally got a good wig.
Wait, you're going to laugh at this. So I did a production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I had the exact same problem. They kept giving me a wig where I looked like Marlo Thomas in That Girl. It was a bob. It was hysterical. I mean, it was absolutely awful. And I kept saying, you're buying this wig at JCPenney's.
Yes.
You know, I was like, it was horrible. It was horrible. And then that was the first tour in 99, 2000. I did the show again in 05, 06, and they gave me a wig that looked like Sean Cassidy. They could never get me right. So I totally understand. Jeff Ellis, welcome. Jeff says, Mandy was absolutely brilliant in Always Patsy Cline from the very beginning, but what was most compelling about her acting performance was how it grew with time. It's one of the most memorable performances I have ever seen in my career.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff's been on this show before. He's awesome too.
He sure is.
So tell me about your experience. I mean, that being that, but also just sort of give me your kind of view about musical theater and what you think of musical theater itself.
Well, you know, I grew up in Crossville, and there's a wonderful theater in Crossville called the Cumberland County Playhouse. And so I started doing shows there as a teenager. It was just a natural fit. So that gave me, it made me more prepared to do Always Patsy Cline, because I'd done a run of Annie Get Your Gun and an original musical called Brand New Beat. And I'd done Pump Boys and Dinettes shortly before I moved to Nashville. So that they gave me the acting experience, but I was relatively still pretty inexperienced at that. I mean, I really was. And then, you know, as the years went on, I started putting more effort into my recording career. And so I haven't done any musical
Any
theater
musicals?
since, but I want to.
Yeah, I mean, with that powerhouse voice, I would think that producers like myself would be recruiting you all the time. No, you have, you have such a great voice and such a great vibe and stuff. If there was a character, well, you could do Annie Oakley now.
Yeah, I love that character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great show. I got to do that show in New York, and it was with Cheryl Ladd, and I've done it with Patti LuPone, and it's a
Wow.
wonderful show. If I brought that show here, guys, would you like that show? Yeah, I think that's a good show. I think that's a good show for Studio 10. Well, tell me, okay, so let me talk. This is what I was dying when tell me about The Flash and SpongeBob.
Okay. Well, I recorded a Christmas album for Cracker Barrel back in 2010. And so they had an exclusive on it. It was with Cracker Barrel and Concord Records. And so that album has several songs have been placed in different things, but The Flash used my version of Jingle Bell Rock. And then there was another show called Political Animals with Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
My version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas was played prominently in a very, very kind of disturbing scene where a guy's like trying to off himself in the garage. It was very, very, very dramatic. But I was, but still, it's so great to be able to say, "Hey, tune into this show. You're going to hear one of my songs," even if they are offing themselves in the middle of it. But the SpongeBob records. Tom Kenny is a good friend of mine. He's the voice of SpongeBob. He loves country music. He loves rockabilly. He's just a big music fan.
His children went to my son's school in California.
Okay, cool.
I met Tom like the first year of SpongeBob before he became like a phenom.
Wow.
And he was the sweetest guy then, and he's still the sweetest guy.
He is. He's awesome. Do you know Andy Paley?
Used
to
have.
have
Let me ask my wife, Melissa. Do we know her? No, but
you know
we know
Tom. Okay. Well, Andy is a producer and songwriter, and he collaborated a lot with Tom Kenny, and so that's how it all came to be. They were doing an album called "The Best Day Ever" with for Nickelodeon, and so they asked me to sing a few songs, or sing on a few different songs. I'm singing with Sandy the Squirrel and Patrick, and I'm singing with all of them, just bit parts.
Did you enjoy that process?
I loved it. It was so much fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I did another SpongeBob record. I forget the name of it, but it was, I think it's called Ho Ho Hoedown, which is on a Christmas album.
Wait, Mandy, can you sing a few lyrics of Ho Ho Hoedown?
I'm afraid that one hasn't stuck with me.
I got it.
But anyway, that was a Christmas record too. So I've done a couple of SpongeBob projects.
Who's your favorite songwriter?
My favorite songwriter? Oh gosh, I couldn't begin to name one.
Are you a songwriter too? Do you write songs yourself?
You know, I enjoy dabbling in it, but I would never want the pressure of having to write all the songs for an album. You know,
Right.
I just consider myself more of an interpreter of song
Of
a vocalist. You know,
That's-
it'd be like
that's-
if you had to write every play you're in. You know, it'd be a drag.
You're fantastic. You say it as it is. I love that.
Thank you.
Tell me about, okay, so I also know, I told our audience this before we got on the live stream, you have performed at the Grand Ole Opry over 500 times?
I believe so. Yes, it's close
That
to
is
that.
unbelievable. Wow.
Thank you.
I mean,
I love the Opry. It's
that
really a
is-
magical place.
Tell me, do you remember the first time?
Well, the first time I was 12 years old, but it wasn't a real Opry show. It was a tribute to Ernest Tubb, and his son had invited me. But the first time I was actually on a real Grand Ole Opry show was that clip that you showed
Of
with
Patsy
Billy
Cline.
Walker introducing me, and in the big wig.
Wow.
And I was 18 years old.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, we have a little footage also that we want to show you. And yo, so that had to be very recently because they were all in masks. The whole musicians were in masks. No?
Yeah, it was right in the thick of it. I noticed my lipstick was pretty smeared because I'd had a mask on right until the moment I walked on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's gosh. Now that was your hair. That was no
Yeah.
wig. Yeah,
It's like a horse's tail. So I wear it back a lot, just because it's so hot, and especially in the summertime.
Well, you have great hair. You have great
Thank
hair.
you.
So you've also released a whole bunch of albums, right?
Yeah, I have.
Well, wait. No, we have a little photo I'd like to show you. How
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, I think you got them all.
That's pretty impressive, Mandy. These are all of your records, all these photos?
Yes. And I took a 10-year hiatus where I didn't release anything until 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, or more. I guess 1999 was the last time. And then 2010, I came out with a Christmas record.
Do you like the recording studio? Do you like doing all that?
I love it. I love all of it. I love performing. I love the live stuff. It's great fun.
It's a different thing, being in the studio. Although the interesting thing about your voice, you have a big voice. I mean, you wouldn't need a microphone. You could sing at the Ryman without a mic. You got that big voice, which is, they say a lot of theater voices are too.
It would just depend on, I guess, what's going on. If there's a lot of, if there's a big band and heavy drums, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was something acoustic,
Yeah.
I
Sure.
mean, or just singing around a mic, everyone's standing around a mic can sound great.
You released an album in 2020, a Nashville songbook, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
And how did you choose the songs for that album? How did you come up with the songs that were on that album?
They're iconic songs that were either written or recorded in Nashville. And I have a symphony show that I do called the Nashville Songbook. And so, and I did that back in 2016 with the Nashville Symphony, and then also did it with the Detroit Symphony.
Oh,
and
sure.
so my producer, Fred Mullen, he said we should do an album of some of these great songs. So we did. It was right before the pandemic in January of 2020. And so we got it recorded and we released it in August of 2020. So I had a record come out during the pandemic.
Tell us some of the songs that are on it.
Love Hurts, Help Me Make It Through the Night, Heartaches by the Number, Near You, which was the first million seller in Nashville and actually was a pop hit. The Crying Game, which actually wasn't a song written in Nashville, but Brenda Lee cut it in 1964, I believe it was, before Boy George. So it has a Nashville connection. A Fool Such as I, It's Now or Never. I'd have to have the track listing in front of me, but some really great classic country songs and pop songs.
Have you gotten to sing with like any of your idols or I mean, have you gotten to be on the same stage with Reba or Dolly or?
I've been on the same stage with Dolly, and I worked at Dollywood when I was 10 years old. That first year she opened, they had bought it from Silver Dollar City, and I was in a contest there. And I worked there for 2 summers until I was 12 years old. And so worked with her sisters and brothers and all of her family. And it was a really, really great experience. And then Mom was like, well, I guess we've done East Tennessee. It's time to head to Nashville. We'd gone as far as we could go.
What's it like? What's Dollywood like? I have to go up there. I haven't been up there. What's Dollywood like?
Dollywood is it's a magical place. And especially if you can imagine being a kid running around there during the day, I would go ride the rides and eat funnel cakes and all kinds of bad food, and then show up just a big sweaty mess. And my mother would, try to get me cleaned up as much as possible. And I would do a show. And actually, Susie Boggess worked there. She was a famous country singer.
Uh-huh.
She worked there at the same time as I did. And then she got a record deal and moved on to Nashville. But that was as far as you could go in the Smokies. Was working at Dollywood, and working with Dolly, and she was great. They were all great. Dolly Parton is everything you want her to be. I mean, she's the queen.
She, even before I came here, I knew that too. They're trying to get a statue here done of her, right? Is that they want to put a statue of her?
I think so.
They should.
Yeah, she deserves every accolade.
Yeah, man.
Just all the things that she's done for Sevierville and Pigeon Forge and kids. She's a great person. And Moderna, we
yeah.
A lot of us got vaccinated because of her. So
tell me, if you could sing with anybody, who would you want to sing with?
Ooh, I don't know. Can they be dead?
Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dead or alive. If you could have sung with anyone or could sing with anyone, who would that be?
Well, Elvis would have been awesome.
Oh.
We could have had a lot of fun. That would have been great.
Well, since my baby left me.
Bum, bum.
Sorry. I need that wig that you had on.
Yes.
Different color. Who else? Give me.
Oh, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett would be wonderful. Ray Charles, Nat King Cole.
Only like the greatest singers of all time.
But that would be wonderful. Singing with Hank Williams would be great. Singing a duet with Patsy Cline would be wonderful.
Yeah.
There's so many greats that I love.
Well, we play a little game on this show, and we've decided to make it a very special game for you because you're such a terrific singer. So we're going to bring back the incomparable Mr. Patrick Thomas, our musical director. Let's bring him back on.
Oh boy!
And
I promise.
You're gonna like this. At least I think you will, Mandy. So we play this game on the show. It's usually called Remember the Lyric, but tonight, in honor of you, we're going to call it Remember the Country Lyric.
Okay.
So Patrick is going to play a country song.
All right.
And he's going to sing the first lyric, and then he's going to point to you for the rebuttal lyric. Okay.
A country song or six. There's they might get harder as we go, but we'll start nice and easy and kind of get you used to the game first. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
I'm crazy for feeling so blue.
Yeah.
And I did it in the girl key for you too. It's killing me. All right, okay. So now a guy song to make it fair.
Okay.
He said, "I love you till I die." She told him, "You're forgetting time." As the years went slowly by, she still preyed upon his mind.
Took her picture on his wall.
Close enough.
Ran half crazy now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
I flip the verses every time too, so it's perfect.
I
Okay.
flubbed it a little bit. Okay.
That's right. We'll do this one. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song.
Oh man.
I told you they were hard.
I don't know it. Da 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 da. Broadway, is it?
Good enough. That's right.
Well done.
Okay. Okay. Let's make it a little easier. Let's go back into your wheelhouse. How about this? Jolene, 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 Jolene.
I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. I wanted to go classic country, and I thought I would just mess with you. I've already messed with you a little bit. You know this old Marty Robbins tune? Out in the West Texas town of El Paso.
I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
And that's all anybody knows, because then there's 800 lyrics after that.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to end on a real easy note. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots.
And ruined your black tie affair.
There. Perfect.
You're remarkable.
I couldn't go high on that one.
No, I was in the guy key.
You are remarkable. You know them all. You know them all.
She knew them all.
Even the Broadway one. Just a couple lyrics in there, but you got the Broadway.
I'm gonna have to go home and listen to Rhinestone Cowboy and learn the lyrics now.
I'm going to put you both on the spot. This is because this is the last show in the theater, and because I got to hear you sing. Our audience here was so treated to your lovely voice. Wow.
Thank you.
So Patrick, is there in any possible way, and Mandy's, that we could do that last song that you guys did on the thing? Can we do that on this? Can we do that on this?
Oh gosh, we could try. The problem is, and I'll tell you, this is now. We're talking to the guy that was on mute for 2 minutes at the beginning of the show. So there's a little thing called latency, and there might be a little. But here's what we can do: we can kind of trade off. So we can do a. I think that was in B flat. Do you know what key you did it in, Mandy?
I think it's B flat.
I'll just let you take it away.
Today I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, and she looked so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
Oh man. Man.
Thank you.
Okay, I know Patrick will probably yell at me later, but I'm sorry. I heard that song while you're doing it for our audience, and thank you for doing that, Patrick. Thank you for doing that too.
We made it work.
Do you have anything you'd like to ask Miss Mandy before we start to wrap up?
Sure. So Mandy, I've been fortunate enough to thanks to Studio Tenn actually to perform at the Ryman Auditorium before. As part of a Glenn Campbell legacy show right after he passed, which was really, really special. But what does it ever lose its magic? I think I know the answer, but does performing at the Ryman, especially having done it as many times as you've done it, does it ever lose that special magic?
It doesn't. I mean, it's one of the greatest venues in the world, and it is so special. So many legendary performers have performed on that stage, and besides that, the acoustics are just incredible. I mean, otherworldly. It's my favorite place in the world to play.
Patrick, you talked about it too. You said with that big voice, she probably doesn't need a mic, and you're right. But what you may or may not know about the Ryman is very few people need a mic at the Ryman. Truly, big voice, small voice, because of the acoustics. You can stand up there on the very front and go sing a gospel hymn, and it just fills that auditorium. Yep.
It does. It's like those old vaudeville halls that they built for a voice to carry. It's really a great thing.
Patrick Thomas, thank you for Remember the Country lyric. You were awesome as always. I will see you in a little bit. Thanks, pal.
All righty. See you.
So Mandy, give me a story. When I came to Tennessee, I've learned more in the last year and a half, even though so much of it has been quarantined, about the South, and it's been a joy, and it's continued to be a joy from so many of my new friends here and stuff. Tell me the greatest Southern story that you had growing up.
Oh my goodness. You're really putting me on the spot.
Well, it could be a childhood thing, could be
Childhood
a career
story.
thing. It could be things.
Okay, I'll tell you one just came to mind. Well, you know, I sang in church every Sunday, most Sundays. I was there. Well, I was really there. I was there on Sunday nights, and I was there on Wednesday nights. And it was pretty much me and the song leader. We were the entertainment. And so one Sunday I showed up, and the preacher, I'd finished my song and I was walking to my seat, and the preacher, he was trying to mess with me a little bit. He said, "Hey, Mandy," he said, "I was here last week and you weren't." And I turned around and I said, "Well, you get paid to be here and I don't." And one more. When I was about 4 years old, this was before I started singing, we'd gone to another church. A lot of funny things happen in church. And so my poor mother, she'd like to killed me. So the preacher, he's standing out in the front of the building, talking to everybody, welcoming everyone. And so me and my mother was standing there, and I went up behind him. I pulled on his suit coat, and I pointed to her and I said, "She smokes." And she was absolutely so mortified. She nearly killed me. But she doesn't smoke anymore, but we laughed about that story for years.
I'm going to do something. Again, there's so many special things about this show, about this night and stuff like that. But I'm going to bring on our incredible producer. He's been here for the entire time. He's also our development director at Studio Tenn, because he is also a preacher and a pastor. So come on with Mr. William, guys. Yeah, come on over here. I'm having him come. He's going to sit here for a minute because I want you to ask Mandy a question.
Okay.
Well, Mandy, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I got taken out of church a number of times by my mother, my grandmother. Did you ever have that experience?
Oh, yeah. Out in the parking lot. I think the Statesman had come to play, and I was running up and down the aisles and climbing under the benches. And so Mom took me out and gave me an attitude adjustment.
Yep. Did you ever have to get your own switch? Because that was part of my experience.
Yes. And then, I tried to climb a tree, and my grandmother whipped my feet. That's part of growing up in the South. It's just, part of it.
Yeah, probably my worst one of those experiences. And I grew up in a church. I actually come from 4 generations of pastors. So I grew up in a church that my great grandfather had started in North Louisiana. And I was about 5, and I'm actually sitting in the lap of this. It was actually this family friend lived down the street. He babysat me a lot of the time. And right during the invitation, the altar call, I decided that would be a good time to let a little gas go right there in the middle of those proceedings. And I thought it was really funny that when I did it, besides the fact that I did it, when everybody kind of cut their eyes and looked, I turned around and looked at the guy like he had done it. And I thought that was pretty smooth, but my mother did not think it was pretty smooth. And so I ended up getting a good talking to after it was over. But yeah, church stories are great, especially if you're a PK or pastor's kid from the South. You get a lot of them. So thank you for being here. This has been so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. It's great.
So we play another game on this show. This one, you're in the driver's seat, though. I'm not.
Okay.
It's called You Become the Host.
Okay.
So you get to ask me any question you want.
Okay. When did you first start acting?
Oh, when I came out of the womb.
That's right. What was your first role?
The first part, that's great. That's a great question. The first role I ever got professionally was at 15 years old. I played Rolf in The Sound of Music with my mom, Shirley Jones, who played Maria. And it was at the St. Louis Muni Opera in St. Louis, big outdoor venue with 12,000 seats. And I've told this story a lot, but it's funny. But in those days, so you were outside, it was very humid in the summertime. They didn't have fans or anything, and a lot of bugs. So I'm doing that song, you are 16 going on 17, right? And I went to sing one of the high notes, better be wet, and a bug flew in my mouth.
Oh,
And I started to cough and hack and laugh. And yeah, that was my sort of experience with getting, but I got my equity card, and that was my first show. And then I went on, but with a blessed career to perform many more times with my mom as well. So that was my first thing. But I got bit by the musical theater bug in high school when I broke my collarbone and found out that the drama department was doing The Music Man. And I said, I'm going to audition for that. And that's what sort of gave me my start.
Wonderful.
You have been a tremendous guest. It is so great to meet you and for me to hear you sing. Wow, what a voice. Charles Davis says, I love to hear Mandy sing. Well, we all love to hear Mandy sing. Gina Hamilton says, watching from the south, is it Lanarkshire? Oh, Lanarkshire, Scotland?
Wow.
Watching in Scotland? Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, you are a joy. You are a joy. Thank you so much for joining us on Studio Tenn Talks.
It was my pleasure. I'm so glad that we finally met. So
I am too.
I hope we will stay in touch.
Well, I was going to say, please don't be a stranger. We will do this again when we come back in July, and
I would love that.
I'd love to see you again. Thank you, Mandy, so much. Great to meet you. Welcome. Big hand.
Thank you.
Well, that's our show. Mandy Barnett, thank you so much, and for being here. You are just tremendous. I want to tell you before we leave a little bit about first of all, next week's show. Next week's our last show. We aren't doing it here. We are back at our producer's house, but we have the amazing Mr. Nathan Lane on the show. Yeah, he's gonna close out our sort of season before we take a hiatus in June, and then we'll see the future of Studio Tenn Talks after that. But he's an incredible talent. I want to thank. Oh, we have a little shout out to do, but as we all know, we are still please needing and wanting donations, because that's how we did this through Studio Tenn Talks, and that's how we've gotten this far. So please support Studio Tenn by clicking the donate button above, or just by messaging STT to 202-858-1233. That's 202-858-1233. Please donate. We are coming closer and closer to the footlights coming on again on the stage, so we can actually produce theater. As I said, we did the cabaret this past Saturday at TPAC on the Polk stage. It was a huge success. We got 4 more to go of those, and we have a season coming up. But now for the Franklin Theater, I want to personally just say thank you so much. I want to say thank you to the Heritage Foundation. I want to say a big thank you to the staff here at the Franklin Theater. They are amazing. Thank you for having us here. We have so enjoyed it, and I want to personally thank our staff at Studio Tenn. I want to thank our managing director, Todd Morgan. He is an incredible person and an incredible asset for me and for Studio Tenn, and of course, who you just met. I brought him on. He will probably hit me later too. But our advancement and development director, Mr. William Geis, he is incredible, and his family. And I have a special shout out to my assistant and intern for almost a year. She is finally leaving me and going on to bigger and better things. She has helped me with every one of these shows, including this one tonight. Please give an applause. She's out there, to Cameron Skillen. She is amazing. And we end every show with a goodbye song, right? So I was thinking, what can I do here as a special one? So I thought I'd rewrite these lyrics a little bit just to bring the Franklin Theater. And it goes something like this. It's been swell. It's been great. What a thrill to just conversate. Starting here, starting now. Franklin Theater, we're so grateful for you. Clear the decks, clear the stage. Every Monday we got to engage. Blow a kiss, take a bow, 'cause we're saying goodbye just for now. Good night, everybody.